Look guys, I know what you must be thinking. How could we possibly have another engine failure? But I can assure you this was a completely different issue and it's not something that we could have easily prevented. If you do just want to jump straight ahead to see exactly why our engine failed, we'll put some timestamps in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you can enjoy the video. After successfully checking into Canada, we decided to quickly head south as a huge storm system was approaching. But we still had major fuel problems, so we went on a hunt to buy every fuel filter in town.
We just called a diesel shop that has the fuel filters we need. We're very fortunate because it's an older style diesel fuel filter, but they have 8 of them, so we're gonna pick them up. The thing is, they don't do delivery, but they will deliver us to the shop. So they're gonna come pick us up, which is very fortunate because it saves us money on a cab.
Great trip, hope you enjoyed your time in Canada.
We just need to pick up a little bit of food, some apples. We go through apples really quickly, and then we'll get some fuel for the boat, and then we're gonna be on our way.
We also made a quick stop at a fishing store because we found out they had tuna fishing gear. And as we're heading down to Mexico soon, we really didn't want to miss the chance of catching a big tuna. The only problem is we have no idea how to fish for tuna. We're heading south and we've decided to go through an inside passage rather than take the open ocean way. It's going to be a long night ahead to get to where we want to go, but it's really beautiful. We've got land on either side. We're going through a little channel called Granville Channel. I don't think it's little, but it's beautiful and no other boats around and it's really nice and calm, so I think it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, for once it's nice and calm, eh?
Yeah. That's why we chose the inside way. I think the outside the wind's already starting to pick up. That's supposed to come in the next few days.
And where are we maybe going to go in the morning?
We're hoping to get to Hot Springs.
That's very weather dependent though.
Yeah, we'll see. But I love hot springs, especially when it's a bit chilly. It's the best thing about cold climates, I reckon. So we'll see. See where we wake up. We've read it's just a very short walk and I can see a little hut down there and I think it's in that.
Safety first.
Yeah, this looks like it. Beautiful view as always, and it looks like people have decorated it with like boat stuff and buoys and things that they've written their boat names on.
What are you doing in there already?
I'm going straight in. This is probably going to be the last hot springs for a little while, so we're really going to enjoy this. It's nice and hot. We're just going to do a quick tour of the anchorage. We can see and hear a few waterfalls around, and then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah. So what waterfall is better?
The other one had a little bit of a beach at the front and near the hot springs, so maybe the other one. On the way out of the anchorage, we were approached by 6 humpback whales, and although our zoom capabilities are temporarily limited, they got so close that it didn't matter. This was the perfect send-off from the north.
Yeah.
We're finally just leaving Bishop Bay. We were only going to stay there for an hour or two to have a soak in the hot springs and warm up a little bit after all that time in Alaska. But we ended up staying longer because as we were going to leave, the exit from the little bay was kind of blocked by a whole bunch of whales. I think 4 or 5 of them all coming up to breathe at the same time. So we think they were bubble feeding, which I've never seen quite like that. It was really cool, all coming up, breathing, spurting at the same time, and then going down for a little while. So that was epic, but because they were blocking the exit and because it was cool, we just sat and watched them for almost 2 hours, I think. It was, yeah, awesome. Just to top off our trip up north. There's whales everywhere up here. Totally crazy. But yeah, awesome. So now we're a little bit later than we wanted to leave. We wanted to leave so quickly because the wind's going in our direction today, and after tonight, I think, it whips around and we would have a headwind for the next couple of days. So we're trying to make as much progress as we can today, tonight, last night, the day before. See how far south we can get. We are missing bits and pieces, but we do need to really start making tracks because we've got a few things we want to do to the boat and then start heading down to Mexico before the storms start. But our time in Alaska has been incredible, if you haven't realized that yet. We absolutely love it and we're coming back for sure. There's lots more to see up here and we've both loved it so much. But yeah, this ride down is beautiful today. It's a nice sunny day as well. Oh, there's a log. I don't know if you can see that log. The logs have only just started popping up again, so I need to be more on the lookout. I'm very diligent around Vancouver and Vancouver Island because they're everywhere, but there hasn't been any, pretty much any since we left the tip of Vancouver Island, and they're just starting to pop up again now, and soon they'll be everywhere. So we don't sail or motor at night time ever around Vancouver or Vancouver Island because it's just too risky with all the logs, and some of them are huge, and we have hit them, smaller ones before, when we just couldn't see them with the sunlight on the water and things like that. But here we're still going at night time because they're so few, but they're definitely starting to increasing again. But yeah, other things I'm going to miss about Alaska, the wildlife, and I hope we keep seeing just as much wildlife, but I've loved filming it and getting up close shots because you can actually see the animals a lot better like that, like the bears and the whales and sea lions. So I'm going to miss that. Other highlights is the hot springs because I love them in the cold weather, and I'm not a cold weather person in general, but hot springs and hot chocolates make the cold weather okay. The glaciers definitely got to be right up there with the top moment of the trip. Never seen anything like it, and it's just awe-inspiring, like totally spectacular. And going through the icebergs is just something out of a movie or a fairy tale. And the bears, never seen them before, so cool. You hear about bears all the time growing up, but don't think about them. I don't know how people think Australia's crazy, you've got crazy animals, when you can go for a walk in the woods here and a bear could come out at you, but anyway. There's been no bugs up here though. No mozzies, not one, and mozzies love me. So that's definitely another highlight. The fishing, that one spot where we lost the footage near Baranoff Hot Springs was the spot to be. So if anyone's up that way, we'll let you know where it is. Every time we put the line down, we got another fish. So that was awesome. And the other cruisers that we met, we didn't meet many, but when we did, they were really nice, loved to chat, told us good places to go. So I think part of that is, you know, the sailing life and community is awesome. And we're getting a lot of that advice from you guys too, which has been cool so far. And I think the other thing is how much we've learned from our trip up north, because that was part of the reason for going up, because it would allow us to drop back by Vancouver and Darcy's home base before we head south. So we can do a few things to the boat, fix a few things, pick up a few things that we realize we need, or things that we should focus on more, like the safety side of things and the engine and the fuel tank and things like that. So yeah, it was a shakedown and we learnt heaps. I've learnt a lot more because yeah, I hadn't done a lot of sailing, and nor had Darcy really. There's not a lot of wind where we have done short trips before, so it gave us more practice to actually use the sails. And I think we both, yeah, learnt a lot and know a lot more about what we don't know, because you don't know what you don't know, and the more you do, the more you realize what you don't know and how much there is to learn. But yeah, all in all, it's been a great first trip and we're excited for the next leg. Hope you guys are too. So we're just leaving the safety, I suppose, of the inside passages that we've been on and heading out to sea, out to Queen Charlotte Sound. Hopefully it's still nice and calm out there. It's really, really calm in here. The wind's really dropped off as well, and the sun's going down. It's beautiful, not too cold. But yeah, hopefully not too wavy out there. The wind is definitely supposed to start picking up tomorrow, so we're gonna head straight through overnight. One more night passage across to near to the tip of Vancouver Island. I'll show you the sun going down. Not a bad view. We're motor sailing because we want to make sure we get across to where we need to go tonight before the wind changes. Got both sails out, going at a good speed, but we had the port engine on and the starboard engine, just not too fast, not too much throttle, but the port engine has just turned off, and we assume it's going to be the fuel filter has been clogged. We changed the port one last on the day that both engines got shut off, so a couple of days ago. We've since changed the starboard engine one more time when it turned off, and now it's the port engine that's gone. We just hope we've got enough fuel filters to get us back to Vancouver so that we can sort this problem out. We did buy, I don't know what it's called, but the stuff that you pour in to kill the algae, but the guy told us that it can cause more problems initially because it kills all the stuff, and then that can get kicked up. So we don't want that. We really need to get the tanks cleared out completely.
Welcome to my dungeon. Come in and watch me change a fuel filter for the bajillionth time. No, it's only like the third. We've been pretty lucky so far with how dirty the tank is. Okay, this is a new fuel filter that's going to go on, and we just got to fill this with diesel, screw it on, prime the system, and it should work again. Now that this is all filled with diesel, we can screw it on here. It's funny how relaxing this is now that we know what we're doing, compared to a dead panic in 40-knot winds and great the amount of shit we already see in there, but hopefully we can get a couple hours out of it. I can already see a bunch of algae and stuff in the bottom of the bowl, so this filter is probably only going to last for maybe 4 or 5 hours if we're lucky, and then we'll have to change it out, and I'm guessing we're going to have to change out the other filter as well in not too much time. Crossing my fingers that I'm wrong.
Yeah. Maybe we see if we can turn the engines off. How fast we can still move.
Yeah.
And we have to think about whether we use that liquid stuff. What's it called?
Yeah, we have some like biodiesel stuff, like some stuff to pour in. It's like I don't know, it's some kind of treatment, and it's supposed to kill the stuff that's in the fuel tank. But it takes like 24 hours or 48 hours for it to dissolve. So we can't go anywhere for that amount of time. And we're hoping that we don't have to resort to that. We'll see. Anyway, let's fire the engine up. Hopefully that should be good.
We decided to give the engines a break and had a cruisy night sail all the way to the tip of Vancouver Island. We're just pulling into Clam Cove now, near Browning's Pass, if anyone knows that, or also known as God's Pocket. Ooh. Some old houses, floating houses.
I'll do my best zoom. That's what I got. Oh, one of them is like sinking.
Yeah. Doesn't look like they lived in anymore, that's for sure.
Well, we just pulled into the anchorage and everything went well until we went to reverse on the starboard engine, and then we get a funny sound. So listen to this.
I thought we were like hitting a rock. It sounds like you're driving over a rock.
Yeah, so that's not great. We're gonna try and figure out what is the matter with that. But we got the anchor down, so we're safe. And we're just gonna check for leaks first, and then see it. Maybe it's grinding against something or something like that. We'll check it out. Well, not good news. This is our drive line, CV axle, or whatever you want to call it. It drives the prop shaft essentially, and it's completely blown apart. There's no fixing it. There's no anything. It's just exploded. It's done. So that means for the rest of this trip until we get the boat out of the water, we're on one engine only, which is bad news because there's a big storm coming our way. Everything we need to do is upwind right now to get back to the boat lift. So it means that we're on one engine until we get back to Vancouver, basically.
If you see these rips in the metal here, and here, those aren't supposed to be here. And this isn't supposed to be able to spin without spinning the prop as well. And as you can see, it is completely done, just busted beyond repair.
So we've also called to try and get a replacement part, yeah?
Yeah, we have a replacement part. We got really lucky with that, but we have a replacement part hopefully on the way in the next couple of days.
This is serious, but that does not mean we're not getting to Mexico. We do have to come out of the water, which totally sucks, and it's going to take some time, but we've already started calling ahead to see if we can get pulled out of the water. So far the answer is no, but I'm sure we're on a waiting list and we'll get out of the water. We have fixed the other side, or replaced the other side long before it broke. We were told that this would have about at least like 2 to 3 years left in it, but obviously it does not. So it is what it is. Once we replace it, it'll be brand new and we'll have 100% faith in our drive lines again. So that's a positive, I guess.
With our boat holding up only slightly better than the sinking float homes beside us, we were still dead set on sailing to Mexico. Maybe just a couple of quick repairs first. Subscribe if you want to join the adventure, and we'll see you next Friday.